This tutorial will show you how to create your own custom pages to customize your League Lab website. In our example, we'll create a sponsors page. Our sponsors page will feature an image for each of our sponsors, a link to the sponsors webpage, and the address and phone number of the business. Once we've created a sponsors page, we'll also show you how to add that to your site menu so that people can find that page. The first thing we need to do is get those images into the system. So to do that, we'll go to Photos. We see our photo gallery here, all of the photos that we have in our site so far, and we can click Upload to add more. So we will click Upload Photos. This lets us find those photos on our hard drive on our computer and upload them. Once they're uploaded, they show up here on the right, and we have the option to publish them. I'm going to click Publish All, because that'll be the easiest here. So the first photo is for our sports bar sponsor called First and 10. And I'm going to select Promotional for the image type. This means that the image here won't show up in any of the photo galleries on our website, which we really don't want that to happen, so we're going to use Promotional here. If this were a photo of people playing in our leagues and tournaments, we could fill out the sport, league, and team so that those photos would be attached to that participation. But we don't need to worry about that here. Finally, we have the option to just publish the image or to edit it. If it needs to be cropped or brightness and contrast adjusted, we can do that there. But this one looks great the way it is, so I'm going to click Publish. This brings us to our next image. This is for our shoe store that sponsors us called Fleet Feet. Again, promotional, and again it looks fine, so I'm just going to publish it straight away. Okay, both of our photos are published. We can see them if we go to the gallery. And now we can get on to creating the page. To do that, we'll click Site and Custom Pages. So here we see our existing pages, the ones that were created for us. We have an About page and a Contact page. If we need to edit those, we can do that here. And we can also create our new page. I'm just going to call it Sponsors. And likewise for the short name. The short name is what goes into the address of the page. So generally having it be the same as the page name is just fine. Click Create Page. This takes us to the editor, much like the one we use to edit other content on our website. The title of this, I'm going to say Thanks to Our Sponsors. And I'll leave the header blank for now. We have the opportunity to add our images, so let's do that. Brings up our gallery, and we can choose to add them one at a time. I'm going to choose First and 10. And then Fleet Feet. We can add a caption to each of our images. For First and 10, enjoy hot food and cold suds after the game. And for Fleet Feet, I'm going to mention this discount that we get. All players get 25% off at Fleet Feet. Finally, we get to the body of our page. I'm going to add in the names and addresses of my two sponsors here and do a little formatting. So the names I'll make bold, I'll make them a little bigger. And I will turn the website addresses into actual links. Okay. And now we can save our page. We see it shows up here in the list of our pages. By clicking the name of the page, we can view how that looks on the front, on the public site. And we see that we have our images, our captions, and our addresses, our business info. I don't quite like the way this looks yet though, because I'd like to push the Fleet Feet address down. I'd like to have these show up right next to the pictures that correspond to them. So I'm working with two different browser tabs open here so that I can easily switch back and forth. Now I'm back at my administrative site. I'm going to click Edit on my sponsors page, and I'll just add some spacing here. We'll save it and see what it looks like now. I'll reload this page. That looks pretty good, but I want to push Fleet Feet down a little further. No problem. Save that, reload. Okay, so we have our sponsors page with our sponsor logos, our info about the companies that are sponsoring us, and links to their website. So that's all great. The last thing we want to do is we want to add this to our menu. When we configure our website menus, we have a few different places where we can add links. We have this row of links here, which is called our About menu. The basic purpose for that is sort of company-wide info. We have our main menu. This is more for the core functions of our website, where we find our leagues, we sign up, we find our locations. And then, depending on the number of sports we have, or whether we have events, then we have also sport menus over here. So what I want to do is I want to add a link to our About menu that talks about our sponsors. So I'll go back to my administrative panel. We can customize our menus. Here we have a related page. When we're working on custom pages, we also often want to edit the menus, so that's there for convenience. We also have in the site menu our Customize Menus link. So I will click that to take us to our menu page. So this is the page where we can edit our menus. We see there's one section for each menu. We have the main menu, our About menu, and the flag football menu. We're concerned with the About menu. Here we see that we have two links already in our About menu, the About and Contact items. We can edit those if we need to, or we can remove them. For now, what we want to do is we want to add a new link. We have the option to add one of our pages, one of our documents, or some outside web page. We want to add one of our pages, and we have a pull down to choose the page we want to add. We're adding the sponsors page. And then finally we can type in the text we want to appear in the menu that the user can click on. So we're going to type our sponsors. If we click Save, that item will be added to our menu. Now we see we have three items in our About menu: About, Contact Us, and Sponsors. We can rearrange our items with these arrows here. So if I want to move the sponsors to be the middle link, I click up, and now we have About, Sponsors, and Contact. So now that we've added those things to the menu, let's go back to our public site, and we see that our menu does indeed have our sponsors link, and if we click it, it takes us to our sponsors page. So now that you know how to create a sponsor page, you can create your own sponsor page, and of course you can use these techniques to create any other custom page you might want for your website.